Government opens second High Court. RSS Council of Ministers meet in St. Kitts. The Department of Consumer Affairs identifies the supermarket of the year. And the nation mourns the passing of Sir Plovin Ennis. I am Ian Richards. Welcome to this edition of the SKNIS Week in Review. The dispensation of justice is expected to be expedited with the opening of a second High Court at the Sir Lee Elmore Judicial Complex in Basse-Terre. A ceremony was held on Monday to mark the occasion and was attended by Governor General His Excellency Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton, senior members of the government, Chief Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court, Dame Janice Pereira, and other members of the judicial and legal fraternity. Attorney General and Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs, the Honorable Vincent Byron Jr., touted the modern features of the court.
A new court has been prepared to assist both judges and lawyers to further this objective of access as well as efficiency. You will note that apart from digital audio recording, there will be innovations to allow the presentation of evidence digitally, that the bench and lawyers in on the court will be able to see, not immediately but eventually, evidence on screen, will be able to access in real time matters and documents that would assist in the delivery of the objectives of fair and prompt delivery of matters.
Ministers responsible for national security and defense from member states of the regional security system convened on Friday to review a number of critical matters, including a witness protection program, cybersecurity, financing options for the RSS, and extra-regional cooperation. The meeting was chaired by St. Kitts and Nevis' Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, Dr. The Honorable Timothy Harris. A delegation of officials from the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela visited St. Kitts and Nevis on Wednesday as part of efforts to further strengthen bilateral ties as a result of a meeting held on March 6 between the Foreign Minister of Venezuela, Her Excellency Delcy Rodriguez, and Prime Minister Dr. The Honorable Timothy Harris. Now, that meeting took place in Venezuela. As part of its mission, the visiting delegation, led by Deputy Minister of Caribbean Affairs Raul Lee Causey, toured sites earmarked for the construction of Petro Casas homes.
We came with a team that will be inspectionating, reviewing 4 sites actually, and we will determine with the support and the advices of the government where the lands are more affordable to build those housing projects. In Dominica right now we are building after the storm last year, that tragedy, and we have been doing the same projects all around the region. So for us it's very important to be here, PM. We also came with a delegation to discuss some finance matters that has been raised in the last ALBA Summit, the 14th ALBA Summit that we had in our country last week.
Measures to better address domestic violence have been articulated in a domestic violence protocol that has been approved by the Cabinet. Minister of State responsible for Gender Affairs, the Honorable Wendy Phipps, spoke about the matter during an appearance on a local radio program on Monday. She said stakeholder consultations on the protocol will follow in order to decide the way forward. Also making an appearance on another radio program this week was Prime Minister Dr. The Honorable Timothy Harris. On Wednesday, he updated the public on a number of matters, including the opening of the Mental Health Day Treatment Center.
The workmen are still at work dealing with issues related to panic buttons and a buzzer system. We have the regular cameras and all of that, but they need some additional security systems in place having regard to the volatility of the situation that could be emerged there. We have already engaged the relevant stakeholders to deliver occupational therapy skills, soft skills training, to provide agriculture and handicraft production on the compound there. So the additional time has been used wisely to tie up that to ensure people have a real rich and diversified experience. And we have not forgotten that the spirit also need to be taken care of, and so they have already finalized with some churches to go there and to deal with issues which require spiritual counseling.
The Association of Persons with Disabilities in St. Kitts and Nevis received a new bus specially designed for wheelchairs, thanks to a $295,000 contribution from the Sugar Industry Diversification Foundation. The bus, which has a ramp and a lift to the back and is equipped with several brand new wheelchairs, will be used to transport persons who are differently abled. Minister responsible for Social Services, the Honorable Eugene Hamilton, commended the SIDF for the donation and thanked the volunteers who work with the association. He said he was committed to do more to help.
I want to say to you that I will commit myself to getting all of the facts on this issue and to do what I can to ensure that those areas, at least the building codes and other areas, are affected by government.
Representatives from member states of the OACS met in St. Kitts on Thursday to consult on the development of best practices and recommendations for implementing the revised OACS Building Codes 2015. Aldrin Thomas is a building inspector in the Department of Physical Planning.
I think it would benefit St. Kitts significantly due to the fact that there are some difficulties that we are presently facing, and so with the revision of the administrative section, which it would bring to light the issues that we are having as it relates to activities in construction and otherwise, and gives us the opportunity to mitigate or put in place measures to reduce or to improve on these deficiencies. And so on a large scale, the nation would benefit from a practitioner's point of view and from a homeowner's point of view.
The Department of Consumer Affairs held a week of activities this week which recognized the contribution of sterling sponsors, the St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank, B&B Backhoe and Trucking Services, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Subway, and Elco Limited. The Consumer Supermarket of 2017 were also identified as the Rams Supermarket in the Bastia Zone and the EK Supermarket in Sandy Point in the Rural Zone. Another activity staged was a primary school quiz, which was won by students from the Bronte Welsh Primary School. Consumer Affairs Officer Vincent Foe said the events were organized to sensitize the public on their rights as consumers.
Without the consumers, businesses cannot survive. And once consumers know their rights and responsibilities, as long as consumers are educated in consumer matters, we figure that business places will be better off. They will be able to have a better business going. They will survive in the competition because anybody open a business, it's competition. And for you to get consumers, you have to be competitive. And without being a competitive business person, consumers would not patronize the business.
We congratulate Jarez Liebert, aka LAX, who won the 2017 King of Kings Soca Monarch competition held in Montserrat on Thursday. Liebert's participation was facilitated by the Ministry of Culture in St. Kitts and Nevis. Minister of Culture, the Honorable Sean Richards, has congratulated LAX for his sterling performance. And finally, we end on a somber note as the nation prepares to say goodbye to Sir Probin Innis, a former governor of the then associated state of St. Kitts, Nevis and Anguilla. Sir Probin passed away on Sunday at the age of 80. He will be accorded a state funeral with full military honors on March 23rd, which has been declared a half-holiday. And that's all for this week's edition of the SKNS Week in Review. I'm Ian Richards.